All right, so this is going to be a little bit different than normal. Instead of covering current events or current affairs, I mean, I guess this is a current event. This is a current event, I guess. But instead of covering like geopolitics type stuff, we're going to be talking about stuff that means a little bit more to me, but it's still current event. And it is about video games specifically, because video games has been a really big part of my life. For those of you that don't really know a lot about me, I don't really talk about myself that much, but I grew up playing video games. I started off on Super Nintendo, played everything all the way up until like, you know, even today, I still game all the time. I got a gaming channel. If you haven't seen the gaming channel, Kagan Dunlap Games, I got a Twitch, I got a Kick. We stream like pretty frequently. Here's the watermarks for it right there. Bing. But anyway, so the Game Awards was yesterday, and there's a lot of good awards given out, but the overall winner of Game of the Year was a game by the name of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a role-playing game that was made in France out of a small French studio called Sandfall Interactive. And they were published by Kepler Interactive and released on April 24th of 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC via Steam and Epic Game Store. Now, I've been playing video games my whole life, right? I've been playing games my whole life. I've been playing RPG specifically. I mean, look, I literally have Sephiroth on like tattooed on my arm and Genova, and like this is all Final Fantasy stuff. All my tattoos on my chest are Final Fantasy. My legs, I have tattoos. They're all Final Fantasy. Like, I mean, I grew up playing Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Final Fantasy games. I grew up playing Secret of Mana, all these Super Nintendo games. Like, I have been an RPG guy my whole life. Super Mario RPG, like all this stuff. This is the first time in a very long time. I would say this is the first time since Final Fantasy X where I played an RPG and was blown away like this. I haven't felt this emotionally invested in characters or in the music or the plot or the setting or everything for any video game. Not like this in a very long time. Like I said, since like probably Final Fantasy X, because Final Fantasy X was a groundbreaking experience. It was like the most cutting edge graphics that I had ever seen. I mean, it was when PlayStation 2 first came out, and it completely changed the game when Final Fantasy X came out. And I haven't played an RPG that was that good probably since that game. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33 absolutely crushed it, dude. They've been hailed as a modern revival of RPG classics like Final Fantasy and Persona. The game shattered sales records for an indie title, selling 500,000 copies in 24 hours, 1 million copies in 3 days, and 5 million copies by October of 2025, becoming the 2025's biggest third-party Xbox Game Pass launch. Metacritic scored them around 92 to 97 out of 100, and they had an unprecedented user score of 9.7 out of 10, which is one of the highest in history, especially for how many neckbeards are out there that are super hardcore and like, oh, that game sucked. Like, dude, this game, it was an absolute peak experience. I can't stress it enough, dude. I was so unbelievably moved by this. And I know a lot of other big gamers out there like that are huge in games that felt the same way. Like Asmongold, who streams everywhere, said the same thing about this. Moist Critical said the same thing about this. A lot of big gamers were just like, dude, this is unbelievable. Now, Sandfall Interactive was founded in 2020 in Montpellier, France by a guy by the name of Guillaume Broche, who's a former Ubisoft artist, alongside another guy named Francois Mercier and Tom Guillermin. All this happened during like the pandemic. They started out as a core team of 6 that grew to about 30 developers with some external support, operating on a smaller budget than your average games of about $10 million. Obviously, they were dwarfed by these large AAA game developer series. Like, for example, The Last of Us Part 2, 220 million plus budget. These guys had 10 million, and they crushed it. They used Unreal Engine 5 for the cinematic quality of the video game, and the graphics were unbelievable, especially when you run it on like a game PC. It was absolutely amazing. The team went gold on March 22nd of 2025, and post-launch added free updates, including a major thank you patch that was announced immediately after the Game Awards sweep that featured photo mode, new content, and optimizations. Now, they're planning on making sequels to the Clair Obscur banner without any massive expansions, but they just want to make sure that they create something else to keep the story going, because obviously people were fans. They loved this. It was unbelievable. If you haven't played it, dude, do yourself a favor. Please check it out. I'm not sponsored by these guys in any way. I have no affiliation with them. Nobody's paid me to say this stuff. This is me just speaking from my heart as a true, tried and true, diehard RPG fan. Get this game. It'll change your life. I won't talk about the story that much or the gameplay because I don't want to like ruin any of it for you. But like I said, on December 11th during the Game Awards in Los Angeles at the Peacock Theater, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 absolutely dominated the awards show. They were nominated for 12 to 13 nominations and were awarded 9 awards. 9. They completely eclipsed The Last of Us Part 2's 7 wins from 2020, which is nuts considering they had a $220 million budget and these guys had a $10 million budget. So here are the awards that they won. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 won Game of the Year.
Mon ami, Clair Obscur, Expédition 33.
They won Best Game Direction.
Expedition 33.
They won Best Narrative.
Clair Obscur, Expedition 33.
Best Art Direction. Best Score in Music.
Lauréat Testard.
Best Performance. Best RPG. Best Independent Game.
Clair Obscur, Expedition 33.
And Best Debut Indie Game. Like, crazy, dude. Unbelievable. Some other notables that won some awards were like Arc Raiders won Best Multiplayer Game. They had Hollow Knight 2 Silk Song win Best Action Adventure. Hades 2 won Best Action. Mario Kart World won Best Sports/Racing. No Man's Sky won Best Ongoing. And naturally, the game that won the most anticipated is the one that's the most viral for everyone waiting for it, which is GTA 6, of course. Now, Sandfall celebrated this win with a lot of heartfelt thanks for the fans, the players, the cast. I mean, dude, they had an unbelievable team doing the voiceovers too. Andy Serkis from Lord of the Rings, the guy that did the voice of Gollum, and he's been in tons of other stuff since then, of course. He played a character in the game. Like, a lot of people say that this brought back gaming for them and revived it. Like, literally was the defibrillator for gaming. Because a lot of people felt like games have been like turned into just like only for profit. Nobody's cared about like the stories or the plots anymore. They're all just about microtransactions and just making their cash from people. But this game, you paid once and you got the whole thing. And dude, it has reinvigorated my belief that video games can still be as good as they used to be. I've become jaded over the years, just like a lot of you probably have out there about video games, because like there's been a lot of stuff that's just been like, hey, this is super corporate feeling. It feels like super rigid. It doesn't feel like you've got real artists sitting in the studio trying to draw stuff up. No, that's not all the time. There's a lot of good games out there, but lately on average, it's been kind of like, man, it feels like this is more about money than it is about making a game that changes people's lives. But these guys, they have renewed my faith in the gaming industry. They really have. And who would have thought, coming from France, you know, not an American studio, not from Japan, but France, of all places. This was an absolute triumph for them. Not only were they the best indie game debuting, the best independent game ever for the year, the best RPG, but they won Game of the Year for being like one of the smallest studios ever. I mean, everything, dude. Literally everything, from the graphics, the musical score, the acting, the voiceover work, the game mechanics were awesome, the storytelling, because that's what makes games so good, is storytelling. Storytelling is such a huge part of our culture for everything, whether it be like, you know, folks that are like in the military, in movies, in everything. Storytelling is such a huge part of human culture. It's not even just American, human culture. And that's why games were so good, because it's like another mechanism, another medium for telling stories. And that's why it became so popular, was from storytelling. And if you can bring it back to telling stories and telling good stories, there could be another gaming renaissance. Could be, if it's done right. So anyway, I wanted to make a video about this today because this is a very important part of my life. Video games is like the one thing, one of my very few things that's like a respite from the chaos of life. Because like life is crazy. Life can be kind of difficult. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Always is. Feels like everything's falling apart or burning down around you sometimes. Like that meme where the dog that's sitting at the table or whatever and everything's on fire around him. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So sometimes it feels like everything's falling apart. But games provide me with that brief period of respite and that break from like all the chaos of the world. And I know that it probably does a lot of that for you guys too. So anyway, I wish I could have stayed up for the rest of the game awards, but unfortunately I get up every morning at 4:30 and I couldn't do that. So either way, these guys crushed it. I am so glad that I was able to play this game and like know why they were given all these awards, because I played through the full game, beat it all the way through. And it was a good experience. It was a good experience. So probably the best experience I've had playing a video game in a very, very long time. Definitely over 10, 15 years. So can't recommend it enough. And congratulations to the Expedition 33 team and everybody over at Sandfall. You guys crushed it, man. I look forward to seeing what else they come out with. I hope they come out with some sort of a sequel and they do it the same exact way, low budget, but just like all passion. And yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Okay, guys, that's it for the daily roll-up for today. I appreciate you watching the video all the way through from start to finish. This one meant a lot to me because role-playing games have been a really big part of my childhood and grew up on that stuff. So I appreciate you watching the video all the way from start to finish. It does help support the channel when you watch a video all the way through because it tells YouTube to recommend it to more people in the algorithm. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can like this video, you can leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can share this video with your friends. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next video.